You hit that. Whoa.
On today's show, anxious for the fishing days of summer? Well, how about a reminder to a place called Smoothrock Lodge, a jewel in the middle of a walleye wilderness. Next, an unforgettable artist who turns deer antlers into works of art that he cannot see.
This elk here needs to be behind.
And our Minnesota-bound classic this week is all about another artist, one of Minnesota's best at bringing wildlife to life with a paintbrush. The life and times of Jim Hautman. Those stories and more, next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. Don't you think it's time for a little summer reminder of what it's like to go, say, on a fishing trip into Canada? Well, we have just the place. It's called Smoothrock Lake, but getting there is a whole lot of fun, too. Spread your wings.
On the back roads of every angler's mind is that Canadian fishing adventure.
Cook traffic caravan 463 Delta Bravo departing 31 Cook will be northbound.
The one you're gonna take someday. The one that'll be just perfect.
Fisher's jump? Yeah, that's a good sign. They're welcoming us.
And when you hit the water, oh, the walleyes will almost jump into the boat.
Whoa! Look at that, oh boy.
There's one. Hey, you hit that. You hit that. Whoa. He's taking for some runs. Oh, he's got some nice shoulders on him. Oh, yeah. That's a beauty. 17, 18. Yeah, both out, eh?
If that's the kind of fishing dream you're having, well, this is where it begins. This dream maker is called Smoothrock Camp. It's located on a pristine lake with the same name, Smoothrock.
Yesterday we had to catch 50 or 60 fish.
Yeah.
And they're biting on everything.
They're biting on
They're
everything.
biting on everything. I mean, any color, leeches,
Worms, minnows.
Salted minnows.
No exaggerating here. Smoothrock is 24,000 acres of wilderness water surrounded by northern Ontario's Wabakimi wilderness, untouched and untampered. When you wake up in the morning in this part of the world, bald eagles wait, seagulls hang out, and if by chance a bull moose walks through camp, well, you're not dreaming. Smoothrock is for real.
What you see is what you get. There'll be nothing else on this lake ever because it is in the park. It really is a special place.
To reach Smoothrock, the easiest route is a 15-minute float plane ride from Armstrong, Ontario. You'll have an eagle's eye view of your dream water.
We actually started with this operation about 15 years ago.
Jack Jordan is one of the co-owners of Smoothrock, largely for two reasons: fishing and flying.
We got liking the business more. We acquired other operations, and then the largest acquisition was Smoothrock Camps.
Ditto for his business partner.
Well, that's another one on minnows, a salted minnow. Yeah, you know, the thing is, you ask about ever get tired of fishing. This is what doesn't get tired of right here. You know, no matter how many times I've done this, seems like tens of thousands.
Meet David Kent Dill, aviator, fisherman, and get this, since 2002, a Minnesota legislator from Crane Lake, Minnesota, and chairman of the House Game, Fish, and Forestry Division.
We put that braided line to the test that time. Fishing has helped me a lot in my work in the legislature. Here he goes. I've learned a lot about conservation and learned about conservation practices and trying to get a better understanding of how man interacts with the environment and how the pressures of man works on our game species and things like that. Yeah, he's a nice one. But one of the advantages of fishing in places like this is, generally speaking, you know, catching a limit is kind of really a non-event. My goal is to provide a quality experience at a reasonable price that people recognize the value for what they're paying for.
As our fishing dream trip continues, we'll find out how David Dill over-delivers, where his outpost cabins become walleye wonders.
Nice walleye.
When we return, we'll continue our fishing and flying adventure into a walleye wonderland known as Thunderhook.
That is a dandy.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Renewal by Anderson, Connecticut, and by Rapala.
Okay, let's continue our Smoothrock adventure where the walleyes always seem to bite. What's that about?
I can see mine on the depth finder now coming up. He's at 4 feet right now.
As a former bush pilot and fishing guide, Minnesota legislator David Dill knows how to turn a Canadian outpost cabin into a Taj Mahal. Let's put it this way. When you come to one of Dill's Thunderhook fly-ins, you'll be roughing it, but not by much.
We have 12 outpost camps presently, and we're operating 8.
Smoothrock, the outpost, the Wabakimi Wilderness. David Dill felt at home.
And I realized this is the boundary waters that all the old people like me want, because you can have a boat, and you can have a motor, and you can use an airplane to access it, but it's limited essentially to licensed outfitters.
And you have one more thing where the float planes land.
There's another one, man. You guys are proving that the Northerns are here.
All right. Fish-eating machine, these babies are. Look at those teeth. They're all slanted backwards, so once that bait minnow's in there, there's no escape. No escape.
Northern pike and walleyes are the main attractions, of course.
Look at the color. How dark, golden. You got another one. Okay.
One day with guide Eric Lutonen, we chased them both.
There they are, right here.
There's so many fish, so plentiful, and always catching something. That one's putting some bend in the rod.
Yeah, he's got a little more weight.
Oh, there's one for me.
Dandy, you got one too.
Double header.
All right, double header. Lift him up really gently. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Nice.
That's a beauty.
Walleyes galore.
There he is.
And pike too.
That's what I was after. He's not big, but he gave me my money's worth.
There's a nicer one. Yeah, this one's got a little more size to him.
Is he? Oh yeah, it's a dandy. That is a dandy.
Not bad.
Oh yeah. Let's see what he's got for inches. 32, I'll give you.
Nice.
This fishing dream was heating up.
There we go. Excellent.
Northern, maybe?
I don't think so. Nope. Nice walleye. Nice walleye. Yeah.
There's a good one. You want to measure him?
Yeah, let's measure that.
Oh my, what a reality dream. We caught them and caught them until we finally had enough.
Nice catch.
Yes, sir.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to Smoothrock.
Thank you. Awesome.
Another walleye dream about to begin at Smoothrock. Up next, an inspirational visit with an antler artist who cannot see his own art when we return.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
You know, over the years, we've featured lots of artists here on Minnesota Bound, but the story you're about to see is very, very different, and so is the artist.
One buck's antler is Ralph Barton's art. From Ladysmith, Wisconsin, Ralph is an artist who sees beauty on a daily basis, something as simple as a shed antler.
I make zipper pulls. They're a piece of deer antler, and they're all different sizes or kinds. And then I make necklaces. I have some here. Okay, my sticks here. This here is diamond willow. See, I put a deer antler on it for luck, and this is my symbol. I make a lot of stuff. I make hat racks, I make lamps, stuff like that. And the chain is what I make the zipper pulls and that out of. So when I do sell stuff, that's where that money goes. And I don't pocket nothing.
But there's something about Ralph you should know. Ralph, in fact, cannot see at all.
It was January 12th of 2001 when I went blind. I woke up totally blind, and it was from a back surgery. And the doctors forgot to give me blood, so I ended up, I was going to be blind for the rest of my life. That was pretty rough. A lot of people say you forget it. You wake up every morning and it's pure black. I have 2 grandsons I've never seen in my whole life.
But something happened while Ralph was still in the hospital, something that helped him past his blindness.
And my roommate at that time had the TV on. And here it was a show about kids with cancer. And I'm listening to this show, and these kids are playing kickball. I figured if kids can brush off and go and have fun, I could do the same thing.
From that moment on, Ralph was on a mission to help kids battling cancer.
I tell kids these here is like a lucky rabbit's foot, but they're a lucky deer antler. And then when you go to the doctor, you put this on your jacket, you got God on one side, a lucky antler on the other, you got God and Mother Nature on your side.
Ralph donates all his treasures to organizations such as A Child's Wish in Pittsville, Wisconsin, an organization that works with critically ill children. He also likes to share his stories with kids in schools. But Ralph isn't one to let his blindness slow him down, not by a long shot. The walls of his workshop, all of those deer mounts, says it all.
No, I don't miss hunting, because I still deer hunt. You would go with me or somebody go with me, and I have a scope with a red dot on it.
Yes, he still hunts, but his mission goes on. Over the years, Ralph estimates he's created and donated around 4,000 zipper pulls, 2,000 antler necklaces, and several hundred walking sticks. Through his work, Ralph is able to bring a smile to a child's face.
To put a smile on a kid's face,
even though he can't see that smile,
it's a great thing.
Ralph knows it's there. Still ahead, our Minnesota Bound Classic is about another famed wildlife artist in Minnesota, the life and times of Jim Hautman.
Minnesota Bound, Brought to you by Hennepin County Medical Center, Minnesota Agricultural Water Resources Coalition, Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff,
Coming up, if you've ever bought a federal duck stamp in recent years, chances are the name Hautman will be on it as the artist who designed the stamp. Well, the most famous of them all is Jim Hautman. He not only paints ducks, he paints lots of things. We went there to watch.
In the outdoor world of Jim Hautman, what he observes in the wild or sees with his old camera
I think I'm up to almost 60,000 photographs on that thing.
may eventually inspire a lasting work of wildlife art, chances are award-winning.
When I go to paint a painting, I don't paint anything from a specific photograph. It's more like I have a memory, and I go through thousands of photos just to find the little bits and pieces that kind of trigger my memory and remind me what the detail and the feel of what I'm trying to create.
And nobody in the country creates wildlife on canvas any better than Jim Hautman.
And you can kind of see what I have laid out here, and this is generally the way I go about it. Now this scene is an actual place that's out in Montana where my brothers and I elk hunt. Here's a photograph of our camp. We have a wall tent. So I had this idea from this day when the storm rolled in and the wind picked up. Instead of having our tent there, I put what I wanted to see there, which was a big elk.
If Jim Hautman makes painting look as easy as by the numbers, it's because it runs in the family. Jim's two brothers, Joe and Bob, also are full-time wildlife artists who've also won the prestigious federal duck stamp contest.
Hey, we gotta stop here. This is the latest prize, the federal duck stamp.
So that's a pair of white-fronted geese. I'm kind of thinking North Dakota, Saskatchewan on the scene.
So that's number?
That's number 4 for me.
Duck stamp number 1, is it still your favorite, or at least have the fondest memories?
I think it is, yeah. That was such a big deal for me at the time, just getting started. And it was like winning the Stanley Cup, you know. Where do you go from here?
His other duck stamp wins featured mallards.
It is so common, but, you know, and it's easy to forget how spectacular they are.
And the famed bluebill or scaup.
Yeah, the bluebill, that's one of my favorite ducks, and a real hardcore duck hunter's duck.
Born in St. Louis Park, Jim is the youngest in a family of 7.
Growing up, it was just normal to paint and draw in our household, so being the youngest, I was always the worst.
Today, his artist's signature appears on canvas or gift items with anything wild, from big wild cats to game birds to a scene from his backyard bird feeder.
This is just something that every day I see him on my feeder, you know, and you look out your window and it's just so great to have songbirds around.
Which raises the question, is there anything left to inspire Minnesota's premier wildlife artist?
Well, I'm gonna start by bringing this grass up.
Okay.
Which that'll make him appear further back. You know, you don't want to just become a machine.
So go the brush strokes, one blade of grass at a time.
Now when I start doing it, that looks good. More is better. So the key is to get the effect you're looking for, but then to be able to stop before you overdo it.
Jim's elk creation has no buyer yet, not that the artist is worried. For sure, somebody will say nice things about his painting.
Nicest thing anybody's ever said. I'll buy it.
You know, watching these artists work is so fascinating. I never get tired of it. I mean, how do they do that without numbers? Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, my antsy star of the show here is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation, Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.